Hey guys, welcome back to Consumer Influence. Coming at you from my wife's van. Just got done dropping off a friend of mine at O'Hare Airport in Chicago. Thought I would go ahead and take this time to do a review on the new Uniden R3 radar detector. I've had this radar detector now for about 2 months, I would say. I was on one of the pre-order lists to get the product before the general public, and heard lots of great things. I was very picky on what I was going to go with, because they're expensive. You look at what the Escort Max 360 is going for, and still what the Passport brings in, or other ones. And I didn't want to go down the road of buying a $100 radar detector. I've been there, done that, and it's not where I wanted to go. But as always, like all of us, we want to get the most bang for our buck. So I got this radar detector primarily because we were going on vacation, and my old Beltronics STI was driving me crazy with all the false alerts. So I was thinking back to all the previous vacations of that thing constantly keeping me up, from every truck I passed to every new vehicle that had the blind spot monitoring sensors, and just said to myself, I don't want to go down that road. I want a nice quiet drive getting to my destination. So I bought the radar detector and mostly was driving around, I would say, kind of like cornfield areas, more out in the country. Really didn't get much into the city. And when I did get into a more populated area, I would switch from highway mode over to city mode, and found that, I would get a little less alerts on it, just because I'm deadening the sensitivity. And that's where I left it. So ran that for about 2 months, and we did our vacation 2 weeks ago to South Carolina. I get in the vehicle and off we go, and all of a sudden I'm having the same issues as the Beltronics. It is going off like crazy. Every UPS truck or FedEx truck that passed me, for some reason, it was letting me know and constantly going off. And it would pick up, some of like the newer Escalades and stuff like that with their blind spot monitoring and whatnot. That it kept going off. Well, it got to the point that, 14 hours into the trip, as we're arriving to our destination, I looked at my wife and I was like, I'm getting rid of this thing. This thing is the biggest pile of crap I've ever had. I'd rather just have my old Beltronics and not have spent the $400 and been done with it. Well, while we were there, I'm messing around with it, and I had put on the filter for the K-band. And that's the band I was having the most problems with. KA is KA. That's always a cop for me. K, that's where the issue was. So I put the filter on and still having issues. So still riding around down there, I thought I'm gonna just try and see if I turn the K-band pop off, if that would do anything. And I don't know why. I'm not a big radar person. I don't know all the ins and the outs, but as soon as I turned that pop filter off, my radar detector went completely silent. It was so silent, I actually thought I broke it. It wouldn't go off. I would get KA, which made me feel a little bit better, knowing that it wasn't completely broke, but now I was worried about what did I jeopardize with K-band. So on the way home, crossing my fingers as I'm speeding down the highway that I'm not going to get a ticket and that the radar detector is not going to fail. And probably 2 hours into the trip, I was approaching a cop that was sitting on the side of the road, and the K-band started going off. The closer I got, the more intense the signal got, and basically reassured me K-band was working. I drove 14 hours back home, 13 hours. It was the quietest ride I've ever had with owning a radar detector. It was amazing the one one function on this radar detector and how it changed it from the biggest pile of crap that I wanted to throw away and write Uniden about, to me feeling giddy about spending only $400 and getting probably twice the radar detector that Escort, Max 360, and all those other ones that you paid a high dollar for. Well, that's where I'm at. I'm giddy. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the sun out of your guys' eyes here too as I'm driving on the expressway. But here I am. I'm on the toll road, driving out of Chicago, and it's, for the most part, it's been pretty quiet. No issues. I had, I think, one or two maybe false alerts with going through the toll booth. So, just to generalize, guys, what I'm going through here with this, I went from it's a piece of crap to I love it. So if you're considering looking for a radar detector, I would strongly advise you to buy the Uniden R3 or even the R1 if you don't want the GPS. That one's a little bit less expensive, the R1. The R3, I know you're paying a little more for the GPS. That way you can pick up red light cameras, photo enforced cameras, all that kind of stuff. That's more or less the reason why I like that. And also for marking false readings, you can go in, there's a function to mark your spot. So all in all, I highly recommend it. If you are looking for a radar detector that is extremely sensitive, that will pick up the police from a long distance and not have the false alerts, this is the radar detector that you're going to want. I've put it against my dad's passport. He's got an Escort passport. Now that was the king dog of distance. Well, I think this is the new sheriff in town, because this is definitely beating out the Escort passport. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try to be as detailed as I can. If you guys want me to go over the actual radar detector, I can do a review on that too. I know there's other guys that are on here that have already done it. There's actually some really good video on this already, and a lot of test footage that shows it going off in the distance. But as always, I'm glad you guys came to the channel to check it out. If you guys got any comments or questions, leave them obviously down below in the comment section. I'm gonna look for you guys as well for the radar detectors and try and leave a link in the description for you guys for an easy purchase. I'm an Amazon person. Between Amazon and eBay, you can't go wrong, especially if you're a Prime member and having 2-day shipping and you've got it in your house, and you're driving around 2 days later and it's in your car, and you're saving yourself from a ticket. So I'll look for the products. I'll put a link hopefully in the description below when I get home. And as always, I thank you guys for checking out my channel, and I hope to see you guys back on the next one.